Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, no Patrick Mahomes, so we'll see Matt Moore and the Kansas City Chiefs as they square off against the Knicks overall pick, Daniel Jones, and the New York Football Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants' offense will be led by the rookie from Duke, and that's Daniel Jones. Of course, Eli Manning made 210 consecutive starts for the G-men from 2014 until 2 years ago. But now he gives way to Jones, who threw for 52 touchdowns in his 3 years as a starter in Durham as a Blue Devil.
On the ready. 53, check 53. Here we go, here we go. Take go.
He's got his man. This is Tate. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Fielded at about the 28. Still going. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Chiefs offense taking the field. Of course, that quarterback spot has become an intriguing story for the Chiefs. Matt Moore, at least for the time being, Charles, is the guy. And this is a guy who's been around since 2007. 30 career starts, most recently for Miami a couple years back. But what do they have in Matt Moore?
They have a guy that's going to be supremely prepared, understand the offense well, won't be ruffled or flustered by what he sees because he's a veteran guy, and he's a tough guy. Remember that Miami game a few years ago when he took that big hit and ended up coming back into the ball game? Actually, never left it. That's the type of guy you're going to get, and I think people respond to that. Is he Patrick Mahomes? In no way, shape, form, or fashion, but Mahomes sets the bar awfully high.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of them, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
29 is Mike 29.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. Oh, and now he bowls him over, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Moore. It's Kelsey on the ground. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never bad to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now Moore. And Robinson with a big catch. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal.
29 is Mike 29. Come on, dude.
Moore now. And it's caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York Giants coming back out here offensively. And this is a team right now, Charles, at 2-5. And the optimism after the 2 straight was under Daniel Jones and him starting at quarterback, well, that's given way to a sense of trouble in Giants camp after now a 3rd straight loss, partner.
Too many turnovers by Daniel Jones at the position. Way too many fumbles in the pocket that have been lost. So that's been a problem. But
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Now Moore off the play fake. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That's good for 28 yards.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a ways for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
Defensive lineup here for Kansas City. And this is the crew that had 9 sacks in Week 7 after having 11 through the first 6 weeks of the season. 8 of Joe Flacco in Week 7 and 1 of the punter, Colby Wadman. That's tied for their 3rd most in the game since sacks became official back in '82. On sack 9, Jones looking left sideline, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and it'll bring up 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Throwing Jones. He completes it to Tate, and they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
This is brought in at the 21. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL. Onwards. The Chiefs with the football as we start the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. The midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Leonard Williams able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Moore, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And
now Barkley stripped of the football. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
On 3rd down, Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 5-yard leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Still churning. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now is Travis Kelce. And some of his highlights here from this game, he's nearing 100 yards, partner.
And defenses have worked so hard at how to try to slow down tight ends. It was a lot easier, partner, in the old days, because when they just lined up on the line of scrimmage, either put a defensive end or a linebacker over them and tried to body them so they couldn't get off the line of scrimmage easy.
And now?
Now, when they split out, detach from the line of scrimmage, you put a linebacker out there, they're often too elusive for them, shake them and get into the secondary too easily before someone else can try and pick them up.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, Charles, switching gears on a bit of a sad note. On Tuesday, October 22nd, Willie Brown passed away. Willie Brown, 16 seasons in the NFL. First 4 for the Broncos, and then the final 12 as an Oakland Raider.
Man, just think about his career. Hall of Fame 1984, 9-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro. And let's face it, the lasting image we'll have of him as a player, that interception for Fran Tarkenton in the Super Bowl. The old man, Willie Brown, taking it all the way back, 75 yards against the Vikings for a touchdown. The Raiders won Super Bowl 11. I had the pleasure of getting to know Willie Brown over the years. And when I tried out for the Dallas Cowboys, we scrimmaged the Raiders at one point. And Willie Brown came over to me and had some nice things to say to me, which was really pretty cool coming from a man of his stature and a man of his ability. And I'll treasure those nice words forever.
We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. He's got this one complete to Fountain. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Come on, set.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. He sets to fire, and that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Giants! Darius Slayton, 78 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. I believe it was you, Mr. Davis, who said something about them opening things up, taking shots downfield because that D might gang up against the run, and we just saw evidence of why that was a good idea.
And indeed, my friend, just like a broken watch is right twice a day, I get them right every now and then.
PAT up and good by Rosas, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And shedding. Now a hit and a loose football. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20, 10, 5. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Touchdown, Kansas City.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
After review of the play,
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Moore now, operating from the gun. This is caught by Robinson.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. To throw is Moore. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
They'll get this out to Barkley, complete. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Jones. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Jones from the gun, he'll throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down. Here's Jones on 1st and 10. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
A 37-yard attempt.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Remember with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. But now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Going deep here for Watkins. And that is caught by Watkins for a Chief touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 34 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they're not getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, Jones. It's caught, Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A lot of people thinking that this could be a good year for Sterling Shepard to step out of the shadow of Odell Beckham Jr., but a season ago, pretty good for Sterling Shepard. 66 receptions, 872 yards, and now hoping for a 1,000-yard campaign in 2019. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Operating from the gun, Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
But that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Looking to throw. Moore. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Marcus Golden gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Demarcus Robinson there to make the grab. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Saquon Barkley, and not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know what about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Incomplete into the hands of Fowler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it now.
Let them know, let them know.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one field. A really nice pickup.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I gotta tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Chiefs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Moore operating from the gun. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 72 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
15 yards on the play, first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is Shepard on the catch. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 33. Looking to throw. Jones throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. That'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Jones now to throw again. And he's got it, complete to Fowler. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23. Jones throwing on 1st down. Jones hit and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
60 or.
1st down, Chiefs.
Crunch time, defense.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Moore, throwing again. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 32 on the play. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Why were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From MetLife Stadium, good night, everybody.